Welcome, everybody, to our Strengths Conversation. I am Jane Liebecker, coming to you from Seattle, Washington, and I am a certified coach, and I use the Clifton Strengths Assessment as one of my tools.
Awesome. My name is Manetta Fields. I am joining you from Maryland. I too am a certified coach using the Gallup Strengths as a tool.
Hey, well, I guess that makes three of us. My name is Jordan Gillick, and I'm coming from Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Nice. So, Jordan, we know that in the strengths world, we talk about dominant domains.
Mhm.
So, could you share yours with us?
Yes, I am a dominant relationship builder. So I love to do everything in a way that honors my desire to connect with people, connect with the right people.
Yes, connectors. So, how did you learn about strengths?
I saw it kind of floating around in the atmosphere, people talking about the Strengths Finder book, but then it was really presented to me through the company that I partner with, this other company at a leadership presentation, and so I took the test and I jumped in.
Nice. And how did it feel to learn about your strengths?
So I'm going to be totally honest with you. At first, I didn't like it
Oh,
because I was looking at my strengths report entirely the wrong way. So it wasn't until I got involved with other coaches like the two of you that I really had somebody help hold my hand and understand it. And so now I love it. So of course I would recommend to anybody, especially if you take your strengths report, your strengths test, don't do it alone and don't go over it alone. Find somebody like the two of you that can help you.
Or you.
nice.
Or
Yes.
me. Well,
Right.
or me,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're talking about communication today. Where is communication in your top 10?
So communication is at 7. It's at 7 for me.
Number 7.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, lucky
And
number
for
7.
all right. And for those who may not know what the communication strength is defined as, we're going to give it to you from Gallup. And it says, generally finds it easy to put their thoughts into words, great at conversation and presenting.
Mhm.
And some other descriptors are storyteller, great presence, easy to talk to, entertaining, charismatic. Is that you, Jordan?
Not at all. I completely disagree. They don't know me. Yes, it is
That is
absolutely
you.
me. It's absolutely me. I would before I knew my strengths, I would tell people I could talk to a brick wall. I didn't realize that that was part of my communication strength. So yes, that is absolutely me.
Jordan, what are your number 1 and your number 5 strengths? We know those are really key strengths. So what are they?
Yes. So my number 1 is positivity, which is lots of enthusiasm and energy, upbeat energy. And my number 5 is responsibility strength. So I take psychological ownership of everything I say I will do. Minetta, you've got it at 5 too, right?
Yeah, we're the anchors, girl. We got the responsibility sitting right there holding us together.
Yeah.
And
Was
so tell us how you use your communication strength.
well, like the description said, I love to present. I love to host. I love to do all of the things, really. So I made a joke actually with our mentor, Eddie Villa, who asked me to do something and I couldn't do it then. And I said, I'm so sorry, please keep asking me. Just give me a stage and a microphone and I'll take it away. He goes, I will keep asking you until you're available. So I have no problem jumping up in front of anybody and telling anything whatsoever at any time. People will actually give me lots of compliments on my ability just to get up there and do things, and they don't know anything about strengths or anything like that. I also have been complimented on my writing. I love to write, and people will tell me I have a way with words or I'm a great storyteller, those kind of things, which I can only attribute to my communication strength. So I forgot if there was another part to that question, but I can keep talking because that's what I do.
Well, you gave us generalities. Do you have a specific example laid out for you?
About using my communication strength.
Mhm.
Yes.
I have lots of specific examples. That's also a hard part of communication is narrowing it down to just one. I used to be a teacher,
Okay.
so having a communication strength high came in handy because I was never afraid to get up and speak to my students. It came very easily for me and easy to do things on the fly. I've been asked to present before, even for like a strengths presentation, and again, it comes very easy to me. I love telling my story, and people will comment on how they enjoyed it. So just another testimony to my using my communication strength. I get up and do marketing presentations all of the time. Like it's really just easy for me to do.
Wow,
That's
communication
nice.
is a thing. I don't have that.
How do you think your number 1 positivity and your number 5 responsibility influence that communication strength?
Yes. So positivity is easy. I don't know if you can tell, but I will bring lots of that upbeat energy, high energy to my presentations. So that also makes it fun. But a little fun fact is that I'm usually drained afterwards because I do bring, well, just not in a negative energy kind of way, just almost physically, because I naturally bring so much high energy. Then after whatever I'm doing, I need to go sit and decompress. But yes, lots of high energy, enthusiasm, lots of positive phrases, lifts in my voice. That comes from all of the positivity, strength. But then responsibility is a little different because some people will say that responsibility and communication can be opposites in some areas because communication will bring in a lot of fluffy language at time. That's part of the storytelling, but responsibility loves to get to the point. So there are definitely moments where I love to bring in that colorful language and really explain things or sometimes over explain things, maybe as I'm doing now. But then responsibility will be like, nope, just tell it to me straight. And I flip between the two.
Hmm.
um Especially depending on the situation, who I'm talking to or what I'm talking about. And then also I can't stand hypocrisy. One of the things about high responsibility is telling the truth and then taking ownership of what you say you're going to do. So if you're taking ownership, there's no room for hypocrisy. So if I'm telling anything to anybody, whether it's presenting or writing or what have you, if I sense any hypocrisy in there, or even if I sense that I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, I'll call it out right away. Like, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I own this. I own what I'm doing. I will own whatever it is to avoid the sense of hypocrisy. So that's a lot of how those two come in.
Yes, I love that. And so, what do you like about communication?
All of the things you listed, I like. I think it's fun. I can't imagine my life without high communication. I've always been that colorful storyteller, especially in my writing or marketing phrases or even like high school assignments. I can go back and remember writing these papers. I just think it's fun. I'm taking a volunteer role in this church group that I'm a part of for this coming year. And my job is to be the coordinator. And part of that is to stand up every meeting and run the meeting. I run the agenda, but it's fun. We do games and announcements and breakfast and all sorts of things. So I stand up and I welcome the moms and we do a devotion and we do all of these things. But part of that is really helpful when you have high communication. So I love that it comes easy for me and naturally for me, and I enjoy being on stage and presenting. In a good way, not in a I don't have significance that high. It's not in a look at me and I'm not an influencer. It feels good. It feels like I belong there. So it's fun.
I would like to point out to people how Jordan uses her hands a lot
Uh-huh.
while she's talking. That's also something that people with high communication do.
Yes. And you know what else we do? We talk to ourselves a lot.
Mm.
And we think through our thoughts out loud. So you can get a lot of high strategic thinkers, strategic domain, who have a lot of these internal head strengths. And I used to jokingly call myself crazy or say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I talk out loud. I think out loud." But it's also part of the communication strength is we communicate our thoughts out loud, and that's part of our processing. So yes, to the hand thing. I forgot about that. I forgot to mention that. It's very, let me try to sit on, I can't do it.
Yeah,
Um,
still.
I can't do it. I cannot sit on my hands and then talking out loud. Talk to myself all the time.
That's interesting. I
Mhm.
like that. So Jordan, what would you say to somebody who is on the fence? They've been thinking about taking the Gallup Strengths assessment and they haven't done it yet. What would you say to them?
Do it. Don't wait. Do it yesterday. It's so fun, especially because you'll be able to now put names and titles to things that, again, people will comment that they noticed this about you. Like they noticed my high communication strength before I knew it was high communication. And now you can actually say and then take ownership, look at my responsibility showing up and know exactly what it is. It really helps open the doors for your life, and then you get to learn and realize what is fun for you. Like I know my high communication strength is fun for me. I know that stepping into this volunteer role this year as coordinator and being on stage and being in front of people is going to be fun. I know that running the finance and the accountant part of that volunteer job is not going to be fun for me. So I did not sign up for that. So super tiny example of just ways that it's going to knock your socks off and help you become more fulfilled, more naturally fulfilled in your life because you actually know the path and there's no more guesswork.
Perfectly
Yes.
stated.
Thanks. That's high communication.
That's- Well communicated. Thank you so much, Jordan, for coming and having this conversation with us, with all of your energy. And it was fun.
Well, thank you
Thanks
so much for
again.
having me.
Yeah.
Have an amazing day.
Thank you.